Hi, today's running workout is going to look at flexibility. You might notice if you were a flexible person before, once you start running, everything starts to tighten up a little bit. You'll notice it in the hips, in the back, and the hamstrings, and everything like that. So we really want to make sure that we're not shortening those things up too tight because it can actually limit your running as well as just affecting overall flexibility. So again, this workout's going to assume that you're warmed up a bit. So if you want to go ahead and pause it now, maybe go do a couple sun salutations or your favorite warm-up, and then just meet me back here. We're going to start off standing and do a bit of work on the floor, so just make sure that your muscles are nice and warmed up now. And then when you're ready, go ahead and meet me here. And we'll just start with the legs spread out a bit wide. And you can even send the heels out just a little bit wider than the toes. Go ahead and put your hands on your waist and just gently bend the knees. We don't really ever want to go over straight knees. It can damage the back of the knee. So just make sure you've got at least a little bit of a micro bend there. And if the hamstrings are tight, you can just send the hips and the butt back a little bit. Good. Now grow really long through the spine and take a deep breath in. And as you exhale to start to fold forward again, make sure those knees are bent. Tuck the chin and keep the back really straight. And then when you get about halfway down, just let the hands go wherever they want. You might be high up here on your fingertips, or you can just put the hands flat on the mat. And wherever you are, wherever you feel comfortable, then start to straighten up through those legs. And just relax the head now. And just feel your back start to open up. And as you engage the thighs, you'll feel the hamstrings start to just lengthen up here. Take another deep breath in. And if your hands are on the mat, go ahead and walk them back a little bit. You might even be able to line up the little finger here with the big toe. And then you just start to bend the elbows. And that's really going to wake up the adductors and the hamstrings here and start to take your head down to the mat. Just breathe into this a couple of times. Take 4 or 5 long, deep breaths here. Good, and then come back onto straight arms, so bring the hands up if they've come back. And then just come on over and grab both hands on the right ankle and send your weight just as close to your leg as you can get. So if you can get the chest on the thigh, that's great. Just wherever it is, and feel that nice stretch in the hip here in the back of the leg. Again, just breathing deeply into the back of the legs and the back. And then lengthen through the arms, and we'll walk over and do the same thing on the other leg now. So both arms just around the ankle, and just tuck in and see what kind of a stretch you can get here. You might be very tight, and that's fine. But just breathe in and tell any tight bits to relax now. And then straighten up through the arms, and again, just walk the hands back to center. Now if you'll even weight, so you've got even weight on the 2 hands and the 2 feet. You might need to send a bit of weight to the outer toes. And now start to walk the feet out, just as wide as they want to go. You want the toes still pointed forward, so we're not going down into a split or anything like that, but just get the legs really wide here. And again, straight arms, straight back. And now send that weight back just a little bit and really engage the legs here, straighten up through the arms. And see if it feels okay, can you just walk your arms out here? And so we're going to come into a very wide downward dog. So the shoulder blades move down the back, spread the fingers wide, and just breathe into this. And very slowly coming back up. Wiggle the legs in. And then when you get to about hip width distance, you can just bend at the knees, grab the ankles, and again, just take a bit of a forward fold here. And you can keep the legs bent if the hamstrings are tight. You just really want to lengthen out that back now. Good, and then bend at the knees and very slowly inhale, rolling all the way back up to stand. And just even weight here on the 2 feet. Good. So we'll just do a bit with the wrists now, because we're going to be doing a lot of bending. And we want to make sure the wrists and over here, the shoulders are lined up. Good. Take the left arm out and bring that across. And then take it up behind you, so go ahead and bend that. And you can use the other arm to just gently encourage the elbow to open here. And that just opens up through the chest. You can just change sides then, you might hear a bit of a crack. Good, and then just let everything go and take a couple of shoulder rolls. This will just give us full range of motion when we're down on the mat. So go ahead and do that now. So just come to sit. And just send the legs out in front of you and just relax them for now. But grow really long through the spine. So your hands can just be here next to your sit bones, or if you need a bit of stability, you can just send them out really wide. Take a deep breath in and exhale. So engage the core as you exhale, getting rid of all of that stale air in the belly. Take an extra breath in here. Exhale, engage the core again. And then send both arms up. We're going to do 2 forward folds here. So the first one, you're just going to come put your hands wherever they want to go on your feet. Gently tuck that chin in. That'll release any tension in the neck. And then you just start to curl the toes up to the nose. And if you're up really high, that's fine. And just let the back release. If you want to bring some hamstrings into it, you can put maybe the hands on the tops of the feet. Or you can put thumb under the toe, curl the other fingers around your foot, and just start to come down with the head towards the feet. In yoga, they say that the head represents ego and the feet represent humility. So you're taking your ego down to your humility and just allowing yourself to come wherever your body's ready to go. And feel that now in the hamstrings. And then when you inhale again, you just put the hands on the toes and come up with a nice flat back. And then go ahead and put the hands on the mat. You'll feel this in a different part of the legs. So as you exhale, you just start to walk the hands down, again, wherever they want to go. And just feel now the backs of the hamstrings and the thighs, everything opening up. Inhaling and exhaling. And then very slowly just come back up. And you can stay seated like this. I'm just going to move a bit so that you can see what my legs are doing. So we're going to do a posture called Danu Shavasana. So your left leg is going to be out straight. You can go ahead and relax the foot. And just bring the right leg in. And you don't want the foot on the knee, but anywhere on the thigh or even up into the groin, wherever it is. Make sure that your right knee comes down to the mat. So if it's not reaching the mat, you can pad it up, right? You just bring the floor up to yourself. If you've got blocks or bricks or a jumper or something like that, just to protect the knee. And then go ahead and engage that foot, good. And sit up really tall. And we're gonna fold forward again. So as you inhale, the arms come up, engage the core, and exhale, come forward. And you can just put the hands on the floor on either side of the foot. Or if you wanna go ahead and again, just wrap the hands around the foot and start to bend the elbows, and that's what'll take your head down. And you'll feel a bit of a stretch in this left hip now. Just breathing into any tight bits. And then as you inhale, come up again, hands onto the foot, straight arms, straight back. Go ahead and change sides. And you might notice you're a bit more open on one side. So if the left knee comes all the way down, that's great. Again, if you need to put something under, go ahead and do that now just to protect that knee. And then engage your right foot. Sit up very straight. Bring the arms up here. Exhale, coming forward. Just wherever the hands want to go. Good, and then inhale, come up, flat back, straight arms. And then exhale, just go ahead and send this other leg out. So you know, you can always repeat anything. In yoga, things are typically done once, or 3 times, or 5 times, and the hardest things are never done once. So if you'd like to repeat that, or you can do it with your hands on the mat, and again, walk them out like we did with the other one, that's all right. So we'll do Maritasana now. Go ahead and bend this right leg in. And this is going to just work the outer hip here, and again, it's just a bit of flexibility. So have a look now at your feet, and if you can see, there's about a hand's width distance between my foot and my thigh. And you draw this leg in as much as it wants to go, and the foot's parallel with the front of your mat. And you can engage the foot, and then as you inhale, send your right arm up, and just kind of fall over to the left now. Both of your sit bones ideally are still on the mat, but you're going to come forward, and that just gives you a bit of room. But feel this connection between the bicep and the leg. And then see, can you grab the foot with your two hands? You might be here, so you might be on the shin, you might be at the ankle, it doesn't matter. Really feel that connection just between the shoulder or the bicep and the knee now. So you're using that adductor, and that's what's going to open the hamstring. If you feel a little bit more open, you can take this right hand and wrap it around, almost like you're going to grab your back, lift up your right foot, and then step on the hand. And that'll take you down a little bit more. So either variation is fine. And just release the head and just breathe into this. Feel that nice release in the back. Five deep breaths here. Good, and then if you're on the foot, just go ahead and pick it up very gently and unravel yourself, and we'll change sides. So again, you might notice you're a bit more open on one side, and that's totally normal. Just bring that foot in, make sure you've got some distance there between the two, and then go ahead and just fall on over the right and come forward. Just bring the hands wherever they want to go. So they can be up high here, or again, you can just wrap this arm around and go ahead and stand on the hand. Really breathe into that lower back now. Good, and then inhale, look up, get off your hand, and just very gently unravel everything. Good. If you want to shake out the legs a bit now, that's fine. Okay, so we'll do one that's called Marichyasana C. It starts off pretty similar. Left leg's out. Go ahead and bend this right leg in, but this time we're going to take it all the way in. So the foot's going to be very close to the thigh here, and you can even use this hand to just kind of encourage this knee to go over. And we're going to bring a spinal rotation into this, so make sure you're sitting up really straight. And go ahead and bring your left arm up, and you're just going to rotate over to the right. And then you bend that left arm, and just let it come wherever it wants to go. So you can use this right arm behind you for a little bit of support, or if you want a bit more work, you can take it off and bring your hands here. Just bring them to heart center, and that brings the core into it as well. And then charge up that foot. And just breathe. It's a pretty intense posture, so if you need to come out of it at any time, that's fine. Just really feel that rotation in the spine here. And then very gently coming back to center. So go ahead and release that arm and change sides. Again, just make sure that foot's in very tight. And you can encourage the knee to come over here, but it's going to go back. You want it to come back. So go ahead and take your rotation. The arm can be behind you. Bring that right arm up and bend at the elbow. And just let it come wherever it wants to go on the leg. And then you let the knee go back to center. So you can stay here with the arm behind you, or if you want to bring a little bit of balance into it then. Just sit up tight and engage that foot and just breathe. And then very gently come back to center. Again, you can paddle out the legs a little bit. And since you're facing at the front of your mat, you're just going to tuck the legs in, roll forward. You can come up into table here. If you want to take a high plank, go ahead. Whichever option you're taking, push the mat away. So just protract those shoulders. It builds a lot of strength in the shoulders over time. If you're in plank, feel those heels now going all the way back. Engage the thighs and the core. We'll take 5 breaths here. Good. And then if you're in plank, go ahead and come into dog, or you can push up from table. So send the sit bones up really high. You can bend the knees, adjust the hands and the feet, and come on back into a nice dog. So the feet are just about hip width distance. You feel those shoulder blades just moving right down your back. Spread your fingers really wide. You can paddle out the legs here if you want. So you can bend one knee, straighten the other, send your weight from side to side. Just really engage the thighs now. Start to straighten up the legs. Good. And then push back into table. Cross here at the ankles. And then just roll on back. And go ahead and lie on your back. And the legs are just down in front of you. So check that the hips are even. You want even weight through the pelvis. And then go ahead and bring that right knee up into the chest. You can interlace the fingers and just draw it into the chest now. Maybe do a couple of ankle rotations here. I always find that running makes my ankles pretty tight, so that's always a nice thing to do. And then go ahead and change sides. So straighten through the right and bring the left in. Same thing, maybe take an ankle rotation. Change sides again. One more time, bring the left in, the right out. And then we'll come back to the right. So if the hamstrings are really tight, you have a strap or a towel or something like that, you can go ahead and grab that. Or you can just keep the hands on the thigh. If the hamstrings feel a bit more loose, you might want to take the toe. So you just take the first two fingers, wrap them around the big toe, and you put your thumb on top. And then you start to straighten through the leg. And if you're here, that's fine. If the hamstrings are really, really tight and this is the best that it feels right now, that's fine. So just see wherever you are right now. And charge up that left leg, so draw the toes up towards your nose. And then just see where the hamstring will let you go. Go ahead and put your left hand on your left thigh. Make sure the shoulder's on the mat there. And then if you want, you can bend the elbow and start to bring the leg back a little bit, just for a little bit more if you feel with it today. And just breathe into this now. And take one more breath. And as you exhale, just see if the leg will come out about 45 degrees. It's just about halfway down. You bring a bit of core into it then. Really bring those heels in. So you just draw the toes back towards the face. Maybe it's a little bit more open. And then come back to center as slowly as you can. And wherever you have your foot, let go of it now. And then just as slowly as you can, bring it all the way down to the mat. Good. And then go ahead and release the feet a bit, and we'll just change sides then. So as you inhale, bring the left knee into the chest. And again, you might be more open on this side or a bit less open on this side. Just wherever you are right now, take the toe or take the thigh or the shin. Just see where the hamstring wants to go today. So your right hand's on your right thigh, the shoulders pressing down to the mat. See if you can get the lower part of your back flat on the mat as well. Charge up the feet, don't forget. And just see with every exhalation, can you just get a little bit longer? Then inhale again. And on the exhalation, just take the leg out just about 45 degrees or halfway. And then just come back to center. Let go wherever you are. And as slowly as you can, let that leg come back to the mat. Use the core. Good. Wiggle the feet a bit. Go ahead and bend that left knee. And then just cross the right leg over. So the ankle is kind of hanging off the side, so your shin is just on your thigh. We'll just open up the hips a little bit. They might be a bit tight now, so you can interlace the fingers and just draw that left thigh up. You'll really feel it in the right now, in the right outer hip. You might even want to pulse it just to get a little bit more. And go ahead and release and just change sides. Just cross the left leg over the right. Inhale, bring it up, interlace the fingers, and just draw that thigh in towards the chest. And again, maybe just pulse it a little bit. You really feel that there, just up towards the sit bones. Good. And go ahead and just cross at the shins. Grab the outer edges of the feet and just draw them down. You can roll over on your side to get up, or you can inhale, exhale, roll all the way up. Good. So we'll just finish with a little bit on the shoulders. So just sit in whatever cross leg works for you. Good. So just a little backwards. Go ahead and send your left arm out. You might be seeing it the other way. Cross the other one underneath it. So the elbow is just under the arm. Go ahead and bend that arm in front of the face and then see if you can put your two hands together. It looks way more complicated than it is. And then if that feels okay, just go ahead and raise them up to the sky. That's so good for the shoulders there. One more deep breath. Exhale, let go. Do the other side. Send the right arm out. Cross the left arm. Turn it around and bring it up. Meet the two hands. So the elbows are just roughly in line here. And then just bring it up if that feels okay. If it's too intense with the shoulders, you'll still get the benefit with the hands a bit lower. Just breathing into this now. Go ahead and release. So thank you so much for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.